What up, what up, what up, Facebook? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Alright, so what I gotta do right now is it asking me to do some things, but I'm not really interested in doing those things, so I'll just do what I was gonna do, and that is get this over to my folks real quick. I know it's on a late night, it's 11:30 p.m. on the West Coast, and some of you guys are probably sleeping, but that's what it is. You have to catch the record, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. It's been another long day. Today is day 3. I told you guys every single day it's going to be something different. I was on the road the other night, yesterday night. I keep saying the other night like it's like a long time ago or something. It's on the road, and now I'm kind of settled in from my day, and it's been a day for real. And the day has consisted of a lot of things, a lot of conversations, a lot of encouragement, a lot of discouragement, a lot of just, what the heck is going on here? And that's kind of what happens when you try to do something. You know, you get the ups and downs and the trials and the errors and all that kind of stuff. And even in the beginning, you know, I just started. Like, this is only day 3. And this is kind of like I guess like a log, blog, whatever. But it's really interesting when you're on the push for some things. K Boogie, what's going on, WoWTribe? A lot of times you go through the roller coaster, especially when you like hit up a lot of people. And I had an interesting situation. What's going on, Matt? Welcome to the conversation. And it's really interesting. So right now I'm just sharing this to my peeps. So if you're hanging in here for a second, that's cool. Hang in. I'm just sharing this with my peeps, my WoWTribe. And you know it's crazy because I had to think about it before I went live. Last year when I went live, I was trying to figure out why some of my Facebook posts and my YouTube posts were all just deleted or not deleted. Well, yeah, deleted. Some of them were deleted. Some of them were suspended and all this other stuff because I wanted to have theme music. And when I want to have theme music, you know, I'm like, you know, whatever's hot right now, I want to get down with it. Well, some of my theme music basically has copyrights and stuff, so I can't really have theme songs until I get some of my stuff going on with some of my indie artists. So I have to not have theme music, and it has to just be like just me for now until I figure out what direction I'm going to go with some artists, with some people, and making some cool stuff happen for my lives. And then it'll be a little bit different for everybody, you know. But right now it's just a conversation. That's cool. Day 3. I'm down. I'm in it to win it. You know, I got a lot of work to do. Haven't done this in a long time. So what's been going on is I'm making sure I do this right because I didn't do this right before. The last series that I did, it wasn't clean the way I want it to be, so I have to make sure that I'm plugging things in the right way and saying things the right way and posting things the right way because, you know, after you've done some things, the next time you do things, you want to do them better. And so this time around, I'm going to do it a whole lot better. And if you're chiming in, say what's up, say what's going on, hello, hi, whatever you want to say. Just make sure you say something, you know, because there's going to be a conversation. And if you have questions right now, throw the questions in the feed, and I'll answer questions as I can see them so we can have this conversation. Because this is just day 3. You know, this is my Unplugged. This is what I do. This is every now and then I get inspired for some reason. And this one reason right now, I think the biggest inspiration for me was I'm getting closer to my goal, so there's no reason why not to go get it. And a lot of times what happens when you get closer to your goal, I've noticed some things about people. and I want to talk a little bit about characteristics. I want to talk a little bit about, how people do things. I want to talk whatever comes up. It doesn't really matter. I don't have no script or nothing. This is off the top of the heart, top of my head, depth of my heart, to try to really get somebody to make a move right now. This is Grind the 50. So some of you guys don't know, this is Grind the 50. When 50 days hit until 2019, every single day I'm going to be grinding out, and I got a couple of goals that I want to hit, and I want to make sure that I do some really, really cool stuff. I really want to plug in with some people. I want to show some people about the share economy. I want to share with people about what I got going on with True Legacy. I want to show you guys exactly all the things that you've been trying to get questions for. I want to answer those questions. Hey, Koya, what's going on? What's going on? I just saw you plug in. And it's kind of crazy because when you really push really hard to go after something, sometimes you get sideswiped. And when you get sideswiped right out the gate is a lot of times where a lot of people quit. And so I like to share with people all the time, just because you get sideswiped does not mean you should just quit. Just because people say no to you, that's just a setup for a yes. Just because you don't feel like you have the same tenacity as somebody, or you don't have the same connections as somebody, you don't have the same background as somebody, you don't really get an opportunity to, step out there and do the things that you want to do, just because whatever. I mean, a lot of times it's just your reason and excuses. We always find the reason and excuses why something isn't, or why something won't go, or just why people won't go our direction. We all do it. I know I do it for sure. And I'm doing two things at once, so bear with me. Just hang in the conversation, because if I say something, I want you to gravitate to it, let it marinate a little bit, and then I'm gonna jump back in. This isn't going to be a long conversation, I don't think, but we'll see. But I want to just address getting started and not stopping. Now, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I just got started and I already want to stop. And that might sound weird to some people. They're like, well, how could you want to stop? Because, you're doing so great at this, and your things are moving, and, people are gravitating to you, and blah, 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 blah. Well, a lot of times it's not about, you got to ask yourself, what is it that you really, really want, but you just stop? And there's always a reason why you stop. You find a reason. Maybe you got to work. Maybe you got kids. You got a family, responsibilities. Maybe you have an ailment, and you feel like that's a thing for you, so you just have to stop. Or maybe you get exhausted. It's kind of like, folks that, want to say they want to run a marathon, and they realize they're in a marathon, and they were trying to act like they were in a 100-yard sprint. And it's like, no, fool, this is a marathon. And something like, Grind the 50, this is a marathon. And this is, you or me battling against me. My mustache is doing something weird. I just noticed right here. You got to check yourself out, because people are like, look at his something. And but this conversation, like I said, this is like no script, no nothing. It's just like me just, every single day, I got my phone list. I've been making my calls. I've been sending out my Facebook messages, sending out my Instagram DMs, been talking to certain people, and it's already been interesting to make you want to quit. But this is what it is about. It's not about what you're doing. It's about why you're doing it. Like, people always say, oh, well, I got to do it. It has to be this or that. Or no, it's why you're doing it. Why would you go in a certain direction? You would go in a certain direction because you want certain results, or you want certain experiences, or you want to try certain things. And, when I talk about WoWTribe and I talk about True Legacy, I kind of stump some people, I know. Because when it comes down to it, I got this app situation, and the people know about my background, and they're like, well, why would you go that way when you could be going that way? And I just see you in that light. And I'm like, the light is the same for me. You know, when I put my hands into something, I just put my hands into something. And, you know, people have put so much energy into, you know, how much money you're making, or who you're dealing with, or what space you're in, or, you know, what's the ethics of this and that. Well, it's about you. It's not about the stuff. You know, it's like a job. It's not about how great the job is. It's how great you are inside the job. It's like a business. It's not great how great the business is. It's how great you are in the business. It's like an organization. You know, it's not about how great is the organization. What do you bring to the organization that like makes a difference? What up, my bro? What's up, Ori? Big bro. But people don't really necessarily focus in on that. And when I'm telling people right now about what I got going on, the conversation is like all over the place. People are excited. People are nervous. They're nervous for me because people think I'm doing something crazy, and maybe I am. But I was doing something crazy when I decided to run track and field and become a triple jumper at only, you know, 5'7" and some quarter, whatever it was. But you know, I just jumped. I just jumped. I took a leap, you know, and that's what I'm doing right now. And that's what I've been doing, is just starting to take leaps and just taking off restraint. Like the first video I said, you know, I'm just taking a leap. I'm not really putting so much on it that I have to have a stipulation or a regulation or a certain angle that it has to go about, and according to these guidelines and all these different things. I mean, the main thing that I really want to do is just do something phenomenal. You know, do you ever just want to do something phenomenal? Like, do you ever just think about it? I want to do something phenomenal. You know, another dear friend is like, you know, what are you going to get out of this? Like, you know, you're telling everybody, hey, you want to get to 1,000 and you want to get to 10,000. And it was a long conversation, but I'm just giving you the premise of the conversation. You know, you want to get to 1,000, you get to 10,000, then what are you going to get out of that? And I paused for a second because I was like, you know, like when people throw questions on you, you really want to think about it. I want to think about it. Like when I put my hands to this, what am I really trying to get out of it? I mean, ultimately, like everything else, freedom. It doesn't matter, you know, if I was to go get a job right now, I'd be trying to get freedom. You know, if I was trying to get in a relationship, I'd be trying to get in freedom. You know, if I work with an organization, or if I'm digging a ditch, you know, a freedom from whatever. You know, for right now, for me, when I look at this right now, this is ridiculous. This is cool. This is like something else. And it's not like something else like, oh my gosh, it's whoa, it's magical. No, it's not. It's not necessarily magical, because you know, if you saw my conversations, you'd be like, "There's no magic to that, brother." And sometimes it's not magic. You know, sometimes it's a little challenging. Causes you to like question, like, why are you doing this? But when I'm doing what I do, all I do is focus on doing that. You know, like people ask me all these questions, especially like on the app, you know, like what does the app do? And this is for, you know, my conversations right now is really about, you know, WoWTribe is really about true legacy. You know, so I don't know what you're looking for or anything like that. We can have a conversation about something, but my focus is, you know, understanding what's going on, like the shift in the share economy versus freeism and wowism, and, you know, what it's like to have social equality and social inequality. I mean, it's not really, my conversation isn't necessarily in a target of whatever people are looking for. If you've been watching what I've been doing for the past 2 years, you know what I'm about. It's not really too hard to see. You know I'm about community, you know I'm about family, you know about true legacy, and you know I got some kind of passion about something, and I want to see something happen. And I'm not going to stop. And if I stop, it's going to, you know, I mean, the only way to stop is, you know, only God knows that. So that's the only way I'm going to stop. And I'm going to keep driving, I'm going to keep striving, I'm going to keep sharing, I'm going to keep giving. And I'm not trying to hit people a certain way. I want to hit you right where you're at, and then you just choose from the context that I delivered to help you make your own decision, and then allow me to inspire you a little bit, because I'm not going to stop. And that's inviting you not to stop. How about that? That's one of those things. How about you not stop? Like, if you just joined my WoWTribe, it's pretty dope too, because there's 8,448 people right now. That's good for the recording, so I'll know and I'll remember. 8,448 people that are in my WoWTribe, and I get an opportunity to. Those are like opportunities to grow within this space. And people say, well, how does this work and how does that work? I'm like, figure it out. Ask questions privately. Talk to different people. Play with your toys. When I say play with your toys, I mean like your computer and your phone or your tablet or whatever it is that you have, your technology and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. I get in the mode sometimes, and people don't get excited with my conversation. But I mean, really, when you think about it, who really cares when it comes down to it? Who really cares what it looks like? I've been noticing people want to put on a nice facade. I did shave a little bit so I could be cleaned up. Shave my George Jefferson off, because I want to look a certain way. But I was trying to figure out how I was going to actually invite certain individuals to this situation. Is that Mr. D. Gregory over there? Are my eyes like deceiving me? Are you serious? He probably just popped in real quick. Now I got to give him a call. It's amazing, what angle people want me to do things on, or what angle people try to take and approach inviting somebody to something. I just say, just invite somebody, like share with people. Like, people do certain things a certain way just to try to get a certain response. And I was questioning myself earlier. I was just like, well, I'm going to talk to certain people now, so I got to talk to them a certain way, and I got to do certain things. And to a degree, it's right, because I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but if you want somebody to be a part of something you got going on, you have to be a listening for them and give them an opportunity to see the value for them. And then sometimes they don't even realize where it is for them. So sometimes you do have to have a longer conversation. But that's one of the things I'm not necessarily interested in. But I was going to go about it a different angle. But I think every day it's going to be a little something different, the way I approach people. So WoWTribe, when you're trying to introduce what's going on, think about the person. Don't think so much about yourself. Think about their needs, their wants, their desires, what they call you late at night and say, oh my gosh, I want this, or in the middle of the day, they're like looking at something like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have that. The reason I'm doing things is because I see other people's eyes. I see other people's demeanor. I see when people are watching TV and they get those glossy eyes watching TV, or they look at a billboard, or they look at that person, and I'm like, that person should get that. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to give people that. And I got a tool that I can give people that. And I got a tool that I can give people that. And so it's not necessarily that I'm going to have a direction with these conversations. Like, if you get on one of my calls and it's a targeted call with one of my partners, or, one of my WoWTribe, or, an interview or something like that, it's targeted. But this conversation, this is just, this is grind the next 50 days. Like, I didn't feel like jumping on this call right now, but I committed to this, so I'm going after it. And, some of you guys know I'm not the commitment guy. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to commit to that right now. But when it's for me, I have to do it for me to, like, touch you. And if you didn't get that, you'll get it if we actually correspond with one another, and we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, man, I don't have a lot to say on this one. This might not be the one everybody's like, oh my gosh, you made me want to get out there and go. Sometimes you just have to do it yourself. Right now I have to do it myself. I'm putting my post up and stuff, and I'm making my calls and stuff, making my list up and stuff, and going to visit people and taking care of family stuff, and getting ready for the holidays and stuff. And in the midst of it all, people have been telling me, "Oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's like pulling teeth to try to get this thing going." It's like, you talk to people every single day, so don't treat it like it's something foreign. I don't know what to tell you. And then right now nobody's here for the call. So I mean, there's not a group of people here that's for this call, and I can't wait to get it ramped up because we're just getting started. So there's a lot of work to do. But it's just a conversation. You can always jump in and ask a question, say something, whatever you want to do. Do what you got to do, man. But right now this is like day 3 for me. I never know what to expect. I don't know where I'm at every single time, but I just know I'm going to be showing up. And that's something, WoWTribe, you want to do is always show up. In life, what you want to do is always show up. You might not show up the way other people want you to show up, but just make sure you show up for you. That's something that people don't always do. Show up for you. Like it's a hard thing because you think you have to like do it for other people for certain ways, from certain things in certain ways, and really everything. When you wake up in the morning, who do you see? Even if you're with somebody, when you go to sleep, who do you see? When you're walking down the street, who do you see? And I'm not talking about these eyes. I'm talking about these eyes, your heart and your soul. Who do you see? When you're feeling a certain kind of way, what do you see? And then when you go out there and share with people anything, this is like a blanket conversation, but direct. Like if you're actually paying attention, WoWTribe, don't necessarily focus in on where is he going to give me the nugget for this. Every single piece of my conversation is all about that. And if you have my 5 tips, you kind of get a glimpse. And if you don't know what the 5 tips are, you might want to talk to the person that invited you to the situation so they can tell you about the 5 tips, and then you can know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you can connect with me, and I can bring you some clarity. So I think I'm done for now. I don't have any questions down there. I've seen people pop in. I appreciate people checking me out or not. And this is what it is right now, man. I'm just grind the 50. Day 3 already. Day 3 and I already feel like I'm drained. Oh my gosh, my back hurts, my brain hurts, my body hurts. What am I doing? But you know what? I feel that way in the morning sometimes. So don't look at it like, oh my gosh, is that what it's going to like when I have to share with my friends and family about something I really want to share with them about? No, it's just like a draining to actually want to do something exciting. So this is exciting to me. So emotional, physical. It's like a workout when I'm not even working out, but I am working out because I'm working out my muscles of emotion, working out my muscles of compassion, working out my muscles of trying to figure the heck out how I can make this app transform so many people's lives because it has so much juiciness in it. Like there's so much, and I like that word juiciness about it. There's so much juiciness in it that people don't even think about what's in their hands until it either slips away or somebody snatches it from you, or something happens, like it breaks down or something like that. But then you look back and like, oh my gosh, I did have that if you took the time. So right now, if you're on WoWTribe, you can click the link. If this is you're trying to figure out what is he talking about, click the link right above, wowup.com/w/Damian Love, or if somebody shares this. My WoWTribe might not even share this one because this one is just like dry, and I'm okay with that. I'm still batting 1,000 every single time. Like right now, I'm still collecting coins. I had to turn my sound off right now, so I didn't have the background sound, but the coins are still coming in. I don't know. It's about what you want, and it's about not giving up. And I hear my friends all the time: "Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Hey, man, do you? And as long as you do you, I can do me. Like when you want somebody to get on board with you, make sure that you're doing you so that they can do them. Like on a team, and I'll close out with this thought. On a team, everybody suits up. And not everybody gets to play. You know, you got your, if you're like a basketball, you got your point guard. If you're football, you got your quarterback. You got your strong sides on the soccer field. You got all these different positions, and then you have the bench warmers. And sometimes we don't really think how important and how invaluable every single position is. Because if you're like not the sharpest pencil in the box when it comes to what you think I'm the sharpest pencil in the box for, uh, you're sharp in your own way. You obviously have a business, or you obviously have a niche market, or you obviously have a group of people, or you obviously have a skill set or something like that. People asking me, well, what can I use it for? My answer is anything. Like, pretty much, if you're using the internet, if you're using your phone, if you're using your computer, if you're using groups, if you're using conference calls, if you're talking to people internationally, you can use it. What am I talking about? Talking about that. Wow, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You might, oh, here we go. No, it doesn't matter. This is my conversation. You should have jumped in. And if you don't want to jump in again, you're going to lose. You're going to miss out, because here comes the WoWTribe. Just to let you know, everybody that's paying attention, that's not actually, like you might have like said, man, he been going for 26 minutes and he ain't gave me nothing. No, you haven't really been listening for the past 2.5 years. Because this is just one conversation. So for me, it's just like another conversation. But every single conversation has power. It has something behind it that you really want to gravitate to. If you actually want to support, if you really want to make a difference, if you really want to go to the next level, it doesn't matter what I do. Whatever I do, it's going to be good, because I don't want to do anything shabby. I don't start something to just be like, oh, well, let me just jump on in. No, I do my best. And my best is pretty darn good in some spaces. And the only reason is because, certain things just kind of come to you. Like I was saying, on the court, you have everybody. And then on the field, you have everybody. But then you only have a few people that like kind of stand out. Why not that be you? They have Rudy, the little dude that, he wasn't the football player that everybody thought he should be. There was the Michael Jordan, he got cut from his team, and this is the story everybody tells. There's all these different, people, and I can't even think of a lot of people right now, but those are two things that just popped out to me right there. What was that? The Bad News Bears. Remember the Bad News Bears? You was just like, oh my gosh, what are these kids? They think they're going to do something, and then look at what they do. You look at the Olympics, U.S. hockey team. If you look at history of U.S. hockey team, phenomenal. But nobody really thought that, they were going to do anything. But it's when you step up, and you step all the way up, and you step all the way out, and you just, like when I said, I'm just going to take away the resistance. The resistance of even I can't do this right now. In the predicaments that I have myself in life and stuff. Sometimes it's like there's a lot of resistance. I don't want to do it because I got this to do. But guess what? This is something that I don't have to put a lot of energy into, but I'm putting energy into my life. Like, this is my life. Whatever I'm doing, that's my life at that moment. And you know what? I think I got something that's going to make a transformation for myself and a lot of people. So it's go time. So that's what I got for now, folks. Tomorrow I'm calling some of y'all, so y'all just get ready, and we're gonna have some fun, and we might have a little aggravated conversation or whatever we're gonna have. We're gonna have something. I don't know what's gonna happen. I got a couple new people. That's pretty dope, and I'm moving right along. Day 3, the DL grind, True Legacy, WoWTribe. I have a lot of thoughts in my head, but the only way you're going to figure out what those are, stick with me. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.